Alright, bro, let's talk about girls. Now, I've been experiencing something lately, and you've probably been experiencing this as well, is that you keep seeing girls, right? In your class, in your school, and you think they're really, really attractive, right? You think that they're so attractive and they're so pretty. Um, and not only in school, like even on Instagram, on social media, you keep seeing all these like pretty models in like bikinis on like the beach. Everywhere there's girls everywhere, really, really attractive girls, and you feel like you're really, really attracted to them, but you feel like they're not attracted to you, right? You have this weird dynamic where you're really, really attracted to girls, but you feel like they don't really care about you, or they're not attracted to you that much. And it sucks. It really does, because we want love in our lives. We want to be attracted to girls. Yes, we want to, be attracted to these really, really pretty girls, but we also want them to be attracted to us back, right? We want that. But that doesn't happen. In fact, you feel like girls are a bit repulsed by you, right? So why is this? And this, I'm gonna be honest, it really isn't your fault. It has to do completely with your SMV, your sexual market value. Now, I've talked about SMV many times on this channel, but I'm gonna explain, SMV, and I promise you, bro, when you understand the male and the female SMV, something will click and you will be like, holy shit, this is so accurate. This is exactly what is happening. And this is based on, like the science and the evolutionary biology and the psychology and all that, right? So let's start with SMV for women, and then we'll go on to the males. Now, SMV for women, so the female SMV, it's completely 100% purely based on genetics. It's purely based on a woman's genetics. Basically, it's based on if a little girl, her mom was hot, she will have good genetics, basically. That's what it's based on, right? So it's totally based on genetics. Because think about it, like me and you, we as men, we are attracted to, the thing we are most attracted to about a woman is a woman's looks. Because it's an indicator of fertility. It's an indicator that she can get pregnant, she can give us kids. And that is ultimately what we care about, right? So here's how the female SMV goes, right? So a little girl, right? She's just a little girl, when she's like 10 or 11 or 12, she's just a little child, 12, 13. And then when she's like 14, 15, 16, 17, their SMV literally goes really, really, really high. It goes so high, right? From 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And when a woman is 23, yeah, that is her peak SMV. That is the peak, right? So when a girl is young, that is when her SMV is highest. So girls, when their SMV, when they are very young, because like I said, we as men, we are attracted to youth. We are attracted to a girl who is young because she is fertile and she can have babies, right? We can impregnate her. So when a woman is very young, even the girls at your class, who's like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, when they're at that age, they have literally the highest SMV possible. She keeps taking, pictures on Instagram, and she's dressing very provocatively, and she's getting tons and tons of DMs from tons of men. She's at the peak of her SMV. Maybe she goes out, she parties, she drinks, she has sex with like so many guys, right? When her SMV is at the peak, when she's young, right? At the ages of like 17, 18, 19, 20, that is when girls have their highest SMV, and it peaks at 23, right? So when a woman is at her teen years, early 20s, that is her peak SMV. She gets tons of attention from men. Like imagine like a a really pretty young girl, right? She gets tons and tons of messages, tons of attention from men, right? But here's the thing. Women's SMV is 100%, like I said, is based on genetics, and it is very, very sharp, right? So when a woman hits like 15 years old, her SMV goes like this. It literally, when she's like 15, 16, 17, it literally shoots up sky high. She gets so much attention, right? And she keeps getting attention, keeps getting attention, keeps getting, until she's 23. And when she's like 26, 27, it goes sharply down. Their SMV goes sharply down because think about it, as a woman gets older, her SMV decreases by a lot because her looks and her youth is now going down, it's now diminishing. So from the girl's perspective, she used to take tons of pictures on Instagram and keeps getting tons and tons of messages, because she's at the height of her SMV, she's getting so many messages and so much attention from men. It keeps going up and up and up and up, and when she's at like that 26, 27, it goes sharply down. And when a woman approaches her 30s, it just goes down because she notices like she has like wrinkles on her face, and her beauty goes significantly down by her age. So women's SMV is very, very sharp in it going up and it going down. So basically, women's SMV is 100% based on genetics and on age. So when a woman has good genetics and she's very young, that is the highest SMV she could have. All right. Now, men's SMV is very, very different. All right. Now, women's SMV, like I told you, it's 100% based on genetics. Yeah, a girl could like have a good personality and be feminine and all that, but in terms of attraction, in terms of just pure attraction, it is 100% based on genetics. All right. Men's SMV, on the other hand, it's totally 100% built. You built it 100%. You built it. You build your SMV. It's not genetic at all. You build it because think about it. Like, what are women attracted to? Well, the 4 core traits that I always talk about: looks, money, status, and personality. These are all skills that you can build up. Your looks, go to the gym, build that aesthetic physique. Money, build a business, build an audience and sell them something. Status, learn better social skills, right? Your personality, read books on personality, go practice your personality with girls and even your friends, right? So femininity is genetic basically, but masculinity is built. So male SMV, it is built. Now the thing about the male SMV, it is the exact opposite of women's SMV. Now what do I mean by that? Like what I said with women's SMV is, when a woman is young, her SMV is so high, but the older she gets, the less it goes. So the older a woman gets, the less her SMV, and the younger she is, the higher her SMV. For a man, it's the exact opposite. The younger a man is, his SMV is at the lowest. So this is why, right? This is why me and you are not attractive to girls at all, right? It's simply because we are at the lowest SMV of our lives. Like I'm 16, you're probably like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, right? You're still in your teenage years or even in your 20s. You're so young. So you're so young. Your SMV is at its lowest, and the girls in your class who you have a crush on, who are like, it seems like she's on the same age as you, like you're 16, she's 16, but in terms of SMV, you're here and she's here. That's the thing about it, man. So a man's SMV is basically so low when he's young, and as he builds himself and as his age grows and as he becomes older, his SMV keeps growing and growing and growing, and it peaks when a man is 36, right? 36, that's so old. But imagine, right? Imagine a woman, she's gonna, of course, pick the older guy because he probably has more confidence, he probably has more money, he's probably better looking, and he probably has a better social circle, he probably has way more status than you. This is why, like, you keep seeing this dynamic of a girl will always date a guy in your school or in your class who's older than her. Because a guy who's older than you, he's probably more confident than you, probably has more money, he is probably better looking, and he's probably way more confident than you. I'm just being honest. This is why women pick older guys. So now you understand, females, the lower her age, the younger a woman is, the higher her SMV is, and the older a man is, the higher his SMV. Now, don't take this to the extreme. Like, of course, I'm not talking about, like, if a girl is like 3 or 4 years old, that's when her SMV is highest. No, of course, that's like a child. And the same thing for a man. Like, if a man is like 70 or 80 years old, that's not like his SMV is at his highest, right? But generally, when a woman is 23, that's her peak SMV. That's when she gets like the most attention from men. And when a man is 36, that's his peak SMV. That's when he gets like all the attention from women, basically, if he built himself up. So we as men, we are most attracted to a girl when she is, nice and young and pretty, because that's when she is most fertile. And their peak SMV is at 23, but women are most attracted to a man who is older than them, because that shows that, he's more masculine, he's more confident, he's more successful, and he's higher status, basically. And a peak SMV for a man is 36. So you now understand SMV by age, right? So peak SMV for a woman is 23, and the peak SMV for a man is 36. That's really when women will find you the most attractive. What is your SMV based on? And this is where things get really, really interesting, right? This is like the meat of the video, basically. This is the facts right here, all right? This will literally change your life, all right? And this goes to the very, very controversial question of what do men want and what do women want. Now, I promise you, bro, this topic of what women want, I've researched like for years. Like, I've researched, implemented, read books, like I've researched this so much. And I will literally tell you everything in this video right now, right? So what do men want? Men want the hot, sexy model, we know this, right? Men want the hot girl who has like a big boobs and a big ass, who's really, really attractive, who's feminine. Now, what men want is simply and purely based on physical attraction. It is 100% based on physical attraction, nothing else. It's simply based on, a woman's beauty, how beautiful is she, how hot is she, right? And this is why we as men, we watch visual porn, right? And I'm not saying porn is a good thing. No, porn is absolutely disgusting and you shouldn't watch it. But this is why we have a really, really high drive to watch visual porn, visual pornography, because we are attracted to a woman's looks. 100% a woman's looks, just that, right? We want a woman with like big boobs and a nice ass with like a nice hourglass body. That's like the best thing, right? Because it's an indicator, it's a cue, it's the biggest cue for fertility and youth. And this is what men want, is fertility and youth. When you see a hot girl, you instantly get physically and psychologically aroused. You may even get an erection, right? Because you instantly just get aroused. You instantly just feel attracted when you see a hot girl, right? That's just how men are. Because these are cues for men for fertility, femininity, and it signals that a woman is healthy and can get pregnant, basically. So women's SMV, they are born with it. It's completely genetic. A woman's SMV is 100% based on her looks, nothing else. Now, a book I really like about female and male desire is a book called A Billion Wicked Thoughts, right? And this is probably what most of what I'll talk about in this video is from this book, which is an amazing book on, what men and women want. But in this book, the writers, they show male desire. It's kind of like the character Elmer Fudd, if you know him, like in Looney Tunes. Elmer Fudd is like the guy who has like this cap and he has like chubby cheeks, and every time he sees Bugs Bunny, he has this like, long gun, and he just points and shoots. He just points and shoots. He doesn't care. He doesn't think. He just points the gun and just shoots. That's how male desire is. It's exactly like this. When you see a hot girl, you just point and you just shoot. When you see a hot girl, you just see her and you just get attracted. You just get aroused. You just get an erection, right? It's just like that. This is why we watch visual porn, basically. And women don't watch visual porn. I'll tell you what they watch in a second. But 80% of porn watchers are men, right? Because we care about visual pornography. We care solely on a woman's looks. Yeah, exactly like the character Elmer Fudd, when he sees a rabbit, he instantly just points the gun and just shoots. Even if he misses, he just points it and shoots. Exactly like us as men. When you see a hot girl on Instagram, you instantly just want to fuck her. You instantly just want to pound her and have sex with her. It's just that simple. So that's what men want. Men just want the hot, sexy model with like big boobs and a nice ass, right? But what do women want? And this is what I've researched for literally years. And my best answer to this question is women want the romantic hero. Women want the romantic hero. Women don't watch porn. They don't watch porn at all, or very, very rarely do they watch porn. Like most consumers of Pornhub, like 90% of them are men. Women don't watch porn at all, or very rarely. And this is not like right now, even for, years and years and years. Even like in the years like of our grandparents, right? Like our grandparents, they still used to watch porn. Right, like yes, it's not like the porn that we watch, but they still had magazines with like girls in bikinis and all that. But women, they don't watch porn. They don't care about the visual porn at all. Like yes, there's a very small subset of women who actually do watch porn, but it's a very tiny amount. Most women don't watch porn, or very, very rarely do they watch it. Alright. Instead, what women desire and are absolutely obsessed with, like literally, they will get wet literally from this, is, drumroll please, it's romance novels. Romance novels, and I know this sounds so shocking for us as men. Like what the fuck? Like you will get wet on a fucking book like that? Of course, it's so weird for us men, but you don't know. Like women are so obsessed with these romance novels. Romance novels are basically porn for women. Right? It's even called female erotica. So basically, men want visual pornography, but women want literary pornography. They want reading pornography, basically, which is romance novels. Everything men desire about porn, women desire about romance novels. And women are so obsessed, like as obsessed as we are with porn, they are obsessed with romance novels. Like they literally get addicted to them. And you're probably thinking like, yeah, you probably see the girls in your class, they read all of these romance novels and all that. Romance novels are actually the most sold genre in the world. Like the most sold type of books in the world. It's not self-help books at all. It's romance novels. Romance novels, they make over $1 billion every year, and 90% of the consumers of romance novels are women. So porn for women is romance novels. Now, the basic plot of every romance novel, is this, all right? A very innocent, attractive, and innocent, little young girl. She goes on a long adventure with tons of obstacles, and she even meets some witches, and she meets all of these obstacles, right? To find her dream romantic hero, to find the male, the romantic hero, the ideal man, who has he's very masculine, muscular, dominant, sexy, right? And jacked, has tons of muscles, but he's also very competent and successful and has tons of money, right? That's the ideal man. That's the romantic hero, is a guy who's very, very jacked, very, very masculine looking, handsome, tall, deep voice, but also is very successful and competent, and is, he makes millions, right? That's the ideal man. And this little innocent girl, she meets this very, very high value man, and she tames him, and they fall in love happily ever after. That is the basic plot of every single romance novel. Now, of course, it's not always like this, but this is the basic plot of it, is an innocent young girl is on an adventure to meet her high value male, or her ideal partner, basically. These romance novels, they are based basically on what women wanted, based on evolution, based on biology, based on psychology, for all of history. So what women want is that romantic hero, alpha man, basically. Want, the alpha male masculine guy. Women basically want the romantic hero. They literally masturbate and get wet just thinking about him, right? That's how obsessed women are with that romantic hero. Because this romantic hero is he's portrayed as the ideal man in terms of evolution, in terms of biology, in terms of psychology for women. He is what women desire. The romantic hero is what women want, is what women desire. All right, so we as men, we want, the hot, sexy looking girl, right? But women want the romantic hero. They want that ideal partner. All right, so how do you become the romantic hero women are literally obsessed with and literally just get wet just thinking about him, right? And I've researched this a lot, and the romantic hero has 4 core traits. 4 core traits that women desire, which are looks, money, status, and personality. The 4 core traits of the romantic hero are looks, money, status, and personality. So number 1 is looks. Looks, the romantic hero is always portrayed as very handsome, muscular, tall, and just looks very masculine and sexy, right? With a deep voice. He shows by being, muscular, tall, sexy looking, is that he's masculine and dominant, and that he has good genes. So the romantic hero is always shown, he's always portrayed as he's very handsome and muscular and just tall and just looks very masculine and dominant, right? The second thing is money. He's very sexy and muscular and just looks like a man, but he's also very successful and rich and competent. So he looks sexy and he has a lot of money. And the third thing about the romantic hero is he has status And what I mean by status is he's always portrayed as men respect him and women want him. That is basically what status mean is. He always has, tons of men that respect him, in his work or, in the gym or whatever. And also women, a lot of other women want him because he's the top guy, he's the romantic hero, he's the alpha male, right? And the fourth thing the romantic hero has is his personality. And the kind of personality, women are obsessed with that the romantic hero has is he's very loving, but he also has this, boyish, teasing personality. He doesn't take girls too seriously, right? So those are the four core traits of the romantic hero: looks, money, status, and personality. This is literally like you don't know how powerful being the romantic hero is, because this is literally what women watch porn of the romantic hero. This is literally what women lust over, what women want. So a man's SMV is based on four core things: your looks, your money, your status, and your personality. These four things make you that alpha male. They make you that romantic hero that literally all women want and all women desire. And literally, women have been fantasizing and obsessed with him since they were little children. You become that guy if you have these four traits. So how do you maximize your SMV and become that romantic hero women are literally obsessed with? So let's start with looks. Looks is very simple, and literally 90% of looks is just go to the gym, build muscle, and lose fat. It's that simple. Go to the gym, build an aesthetic physique. Money, bro. Money is so simple. It's so simple. All you need is build an audience on social media, or you have to do just two things: build an audience and sell them something. So build an audience on social media, on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and sell them something. Sell them some kind of product or a course or something, and you will easily be on 10K a month if you do that. Build an audience, sell them something. That's the second thing. Money. Status. Now status, it's correlated with your personal brand, with your audience, but the best thing to do for status is just read this book. Read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, bro. The best book on, increasing your status as a man, right? So read How to Win Friends and Influence People and improve your social skills. And number 4, your personality. Honestly, your personality, you have to be that bad boy, you have to be, teasing and flirting in a friendly way. But also you have to be very loving and kind. So practice being both. It's a bit tricky at first, but you can do it. So practice being that guy who's really flirty and dominant and just a strong masculine guy, but he's also very kind and emotionally intelligent and loves the girl, basically. And that is all you need. That is all you need. And this explains everything. This explains literally everything. Women are not attracted to me and you because, first of all, we're very young, so our SMV is at its lowest. And second of all, our looks, money, status, and personality aren't that good. And I'm gonna be honest, that's not a bad thing. In fact, it's a fucking terrific thing. I'm gonna tell you something. A good test you can do right now is rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on looks, on your money, on your status, and on your personality. Just be brutally honest. Rate yourself on 1 to 10 from looks, 1 to 10 from money, 1 to 10 for status, and 1 to 10 for personality, and add them all up. And whatever that number is, divided by 4. And that right there is your SMV. Now I've did this, and I was brutally honest, bro. I promise you, I was so brutally honest. And my SMV was 4.5. I'm a 4.5 out of 10. And I actually consider myself very attractive to girls, honestly, but when I saw that number, I wasn't like, oh fuck, I'm a 4.5, man. No, I was like, that just shows I have so much potential. So rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 on looks, money, status, and personality. And whatever that number is, let's say it's like you're like a 20. Divide it by 4 and you're a 5 out of 10. If it's like a low number, if you're like a 2 or a 3 or a 4 or a 5, that's so good. That means you have so much potential. That means you have so much more to build yourself on. So don't be ashamed of that. So calculate your SMV. For me, I'm a 4.5. And the more I improve myself, the more I stick to self-improvement and keep improving myself, my SMV will become higher and higher and higher. My age will become higher, and I will be able to attract women. And the same thing for you, bro. Just keep improving yourself. Stay on self-improvement, and you will automatically improve your looks, your money, your status, and personality. And as you become older, you will just become that guy women are obsessed with. And I know it's frustrating, even for me as well. Like, we don't really get that much attraction, and women, girls in our class are getting so much attraction from guys. But it's just a matter of building yourself up and age. That's simply it. So your only dating protocol should be on maximizing your looks, your money, your status, and your personality. And I'll just be honest with you, if you're young right now, don't even focus on your personality. Just focus on looks, your money, and your status. Just that. If you maximize these 4 things, at that point, pretty much any woman you will ever see is yours. Honestly, if you maximize these 4 things, you could probably get any woman you want. I'm being straight up. So just focus on looks, money, status, and personality, not on chasing girls. Don't focus on chasing girls. Put the girls away and focus on working on yourself, building yourself up, building the 4 core traits of the romantic hero women want: looks, money, status, and personality. Now, the last thing I will do is I want you to visualize. Just close your eyes right now. I'll close my eyes with you and just visualize that you wake up in your house, you have this really big, mansion you're living in, you're really rich. You look in the mirror and you have just a 10 out of 10 physique, big shoulders, big abs, lean abs, a nice chest, wide back, you're looking like a sexy looking man, right? You open your phone, you have tons and tons and tons of messages and DMs from girls who want you, are literally obsessed with you. And you also have your amazing group of friends who are also on self-improvement, who are also improving themselves. And you also have this, loving, kind, teasing, boyish personality. Wouldn't, at that point, you become the man that women are obsessed with? Of course you will. Of course you will, because you became that romantic hero that women literally lust over, women literally fantasize over. I recommend, bro, reading the book A Billion Wicked Thoughts. It literally changed my life, and it will teach you so much about what women want. And as always, bro, we're in this together. We're gonna make it. I promise you, we're gonna make it together. Peace, take care.